John Stossel, he's got a show tonight, as is always the case on Thursday night, and it is about the Fed, as in Federal Reserve. He went out on the street. He asked people if they even knew what the Fed is. Listen to this.
What's the Fed? I don't know. What's the what? The Fed. I don't know.
At least a few people pay attention.
The central bank that
What's it do?
determines monetary policy and
What's monetary policy?
how much money to be allowed into circulation.
Now, all these responses, John, they're edited. That last one really knew what he was talking about.
who knew what it even was.
Okay, your show is all about the Fed tonight, isn't it? That's what it is about.
That's right.
Now, I know a lot of libertarians, maybe the extreme part of the Libertarian Party, they don't want any Fed whatsoever. They don't want a Federal Reserve. They think it's a conspiracy. What say you?
I say I'm not so sure, but are you comfortable with giving a dozen old white people the power to make $4 trillion?
Why did you have to bring race into this? What's that got to do with this?
If it were anything but the Fed, which the left doesn't understand, they would be screaming that it's controlled by old white people. So I thought it was a provocative term. But
It certainly was.
So much power to spend so much of our money in a few hands, and they do it in secret. I mean, Congress spends too much, $3.6 trillion. At least we vote on it and talk about it.
So if you're in favor of a central bank, and I take it that you are, you want a central, you know?
Competitive free banking in Canada, they didn't have all those banks fail during the Depression. Each bank issued its own currency, and they competed. That might work better. Central planning doesn't work anywhere else in life.
You're right out there on the extremes.
Well, I'm just throwing out the idea.
I know you are, but look, do you really want to go to the day when we have a bank in New York issuing its own dollar bills, and a bank in San Francisco issuing its own dollar bills, and in Des Moines, dollar bills from there, and they all lose value the further away you go from New York or Des Moines or San Francisco? You
don't know that they would lose value.
They did the last time we tried it. In the 1840s, 1850s, banks put out their own banknotes. And with
now have
20 miles
now
from
have the internet, and people can judge whether the Aslan Bank or the Varney Bank is better.
But John, you're way out there in Never Land, and you know it. You know it.
But right now, these guys are printing so much money. Inflation has been low, but soon maybe we'll have one of these. This is the $100 trillion bill put out by Zimbabwe. You know, once it starts, it goes up quickly.
Are you going to predict rampant inflation? So we're printing trillion-dollar bills, are you?
No, but I'll predict inflation.
You just say it's gone too far. That's what.
No, they just created $4 trillion. They're printing money. That's scary.
Is that the nature of your show tonight?
Yes. And trying to explain them.
Will you stake out a position? You want banks to issue their own banknotes?
We'll have defenders and attackers. And I just wish the competing currencies would be legal, that they wouldn't lock you up if you say, hey, you don't like this note, which is just a promise? Buy Stossel bill.
Were you in favor of Bitcoin?
Yeah, I thought.
They found that we were laundering money with it and using it for dope deals.
Well, people use dollar bills for dope deals, too. And my Bitcoins have gone up in price.
You can still, by the way, you can still buy gold. You can still buy gold.
Yeah, with gold, and I have bought gold coins, yes.
And you essentially believe in the gold standard, I think.
No, not so sure about that. I don't. Maybe.
Really? You'd rather have individual banks issuing dollar bills of their own than a gold standard?
Competition works.
Okay.
Central planning.
Didn't mean to put you in a corner, John. I'm just fascinated by the idea of banks issuing their own banknotes.
They used to.
What time?
9 o'clock Eastern time.
9 o'clock Eastern time. On which network?
On the Fox Business Network.
And what would be the name of this extravaganza?
Fed Up.
With John Stossel, right? The name of the show is Stossel, 9 o'clock Eastern time, FBN. If you don't get it, what was that?
Ask for it.
Demand it.
Demand it.
Demand it.
Send a letter to the Times.
Demand it.
Send a letter to the Times. All right. John, thanks a lot.